next one is actually our Great Unicorn Cup. I'm very excited to have our participants today. A lot of our jury, a lot of our judges also are joining. I believe that today is going to be one of the most exciting battles that you've seen. And I'm really pleased that all of you are here today. I also want to say thank you to our attendees, our guests who are joining today. Lots for you to hear about and to understand about. And for those who still haven't heard, or maybe this is the first time that you know about Startup Network and you're getting accustomed with Unicorn events, please meet our CEO, Anna Fedorova, because she'll tell you more about, first of all, the Startup Network, the Unicorn events, and what is to expect for you today. So welcome. The floor is yours, Anna.
Thank you, Maria, for such a wonderful introduction. And I am really glad to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unicorn Events. We are here today for the Unicorn Battle Silicon Valley. We will be discovering the best startups that are either based in the Valley or the founders are right now in the Valley, and discover probably some wonderful innovations, because the winner of the today's battle will join the winners of all the preliminary unicorn battles we have held already, and join for the Unicorn Cup. And all our events all over the world are happening thanks to our sponsors. Platinum sponsor, Network VC California Seed Fund. Golden sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club. And silver sponsor, Sci-Fi. Our event is the world's largest startup pitch contest by geography and the number of the events held already. And the winners of the today online Unicorn Battle will participate in the Unicorn Cup finals just in 1 week, February 18th. Can you believe it? It will be a great happening with VCs and prominent startups from all over the world. So please mark the date in your calendar. And besides startups pitching live, during the final there'll be a Startups Expo. And we welcome all extraordinary startups to meet famous investors personally and showcase themselves to the audience worldwide. Please contact our event managers to know more. During the season of the Unicorn Cup, our preliminary local unicorn battles are being held on all continents with participants from 125 countries of the world. Excuse me. Something went wrong. And we have been holding our battles. You don't see my screen, do you? Okay, sometimes happens.
This is live broadcasting. Sometimes everything may happen.
Sometimes everything goes not the way you expected. Okay, so our unicorn battles are happening all over the world, and we have been visiting 125 countries, exploring the most extraordinary startups that are there, and discovering great innovations. And only the best startups get to pitch live. So please join us for all the future unicorn battles to come. We had started our events 11 years ago in 2009 and do them on regular basis all over the world. So please join us to see the best local solutions and meet great professionals. We had traveled all over the world with our battles, and just in any case you haven't seen us in your city, in your country, or your region, please reach out and we will explore partnership opportunities. We are doing really great matches, finding extraordinary startups and really active investors. Our winners are really successful in raising funds they need to succeed. Our VC community is constantly growing, and we had a vast outreach to private investors and angels networks. And recently, we had initiated a new format, Unicorn Pitches, when our local partners do events in all major locations all over the world. To know more, please contact me and we'll talk about it in private. And right now, I would like to introduce you to our ecosystem. We are a smart ecosystem that consists of various internet solutions and platforms that unite startups, businesses, business angels, experts, professional scouts, and top-level managers in a single business space, which makes it possible quickly and efficiently solve any task in the field of innovation and startups. Startup.Network is a marketplace for startups, businesses, investors, and service providers. Network VC is the classical venture fund. Sci-Fi acceleration program. Unicorn.Events, the world's largest online startup pitch contest. VC House, a closed community and network created exclusively for the VCs, where they can participate and exchange deals when they are lead investors. Network Investments, is a meeting point for investment banks, startups, and businesses. And Silicon Valley Syndicate Fund, a special structure that allows business angels to invest into the best startups with small checks through syndicate deals. If you're a VC or a business angel, invest with us. Join us and let us know when you are investing, when you lead, and we will support you with our investments as well. Our ecosystem opens great opportunities for the startups, helping them to succeed and become leaders in their industry. Dear startups, get in contact when you are fundraising, and we will help you out with a great pleasure. And of course, we welcome partners that can explore business opportunities with us and become really global. Please contact me and we will talk about it in person. And that's about it. I am passing the floor to Maria. The floor is yours, and I'm really excited to see what wonderful startups have you discovered in Silicon Valley. Let's see it.
Thank you so much, Anna. And I'm really, by the way, I'm really pleased with everyone who has joined us again today and the presentation they have prepared. And I'm definitely sure that they are ready to rock, because remember, the one startup, the startup founder who will win today will get the free ticket to participate in our Unicorn Cup finals, which will be taking place in just 1 week. Unicorn Cup finals, winter edition. This time you definitely have to, not only to participate, but you definitely need to win. I'm telling you, like, I want everyone to be so focused today, like to present in the best way your companies, and at the same time win the possibility to present among the best of the best during this winter season. And definitely we want to say thank you to those people who are actually helping us today. First of all, to choose the best startup, and second of all, those companies, especially our partners, who are also helping to hold our events. So very great thank you to Startup Grant, Palo Alto, for example. Thank you for your fund, and as well Go Global World, as well our partner for this season. Thank you so much. And also one of the as I mentioned, one of the main as well people at our event is of course our judges. I'm so pleased to have here. By the way, as we can see, a lot have joined us this time, especially for the Silicon Valley, I would say, special event before the special Unicorn Cup Finals Winter Edition. Really pleased to hear from you a few words. So please, everyone, share with us information about your VC fund. Which industry are you focused on? Which startups? Check size, region, maybe, etc. Tell us like a few words, please, everyone. I'll start with let me present also you, every one of you, the CEO of Startup.Network, Alexander Soroka. Alexander, how do you do today?
Hello, Maria. Good, thank you. Hello, everybody. Our funds usually invest approximately to 400K, and we are industry agnostic, and we prefer to invest in United States or Europe, but we really started to invest in Latin America today, and now looking into the Asia. So this is it about our funds probably for today, Maria.
Thank you so much. Who would like to jump in right now? Please be active. Today, I think our battle is going to be active and at the same time, very friendly.
Hi, I'm Keith Herman from IPA Equities. How are you today, Maria?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. It's great to see everybody back, and excited to see we're getting close here. So just quickly about IPA Equities. We are basically industry and geographically agnostic. Series A investments, 2 million to 10 million. We're looking for innovative and disruptive technologies, and we're really excited about layered technologies. So that's really what our focus is, and excited to hear what everybody has in store, and I'll pass it off to the next in line.
Thank you so much. Who would like to join? Please be active and don't hesitate.
I can go next. Hi, Anna. Hi, Maria. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Victoria Maran. I'm an investment associate at Expert Dojo. We are the biggest international accelerator fund based in Southern California. We invest over 80 companies per year, and we are in pre-seed and seed level, and I'm happy that I'm here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Victoria, for joining. By the way, I haven't seen you for a while after our meeting.
I was COVID positive, so now I completely recovered. So,
but really happy to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Who would like to jump in right now?
Hi, everybody. Oh, sorry.
Hi, Zohar.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Gary.
Anyhow, nice to see everybody. Some familiar faces. It's great to see you smiling today. Anyhow, my name is Gary Fowler. Hi, Maria. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 startups. I've been involved in 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion about 22 months ago as an Israeli company relocated to California. And also, I'm the co-founder of Viva.ai, one of the top AI HR tech companies with Dr. David Yang, who founded Abby, as well as DY Investments and several other funds. I am also the co-founder, president, and CEO of Get Shit Done GST Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio. Curating companies. We have companies from Africa, from Germany, from Russia, Ukraine, all over the world, and we use Silicon Valley as a port to take them global. So it's great to be here, and I really appreciate seeing everybody today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Who would like to be the next? Zohar, you were,
I'll continue. Hi, everybody. I'm Zohar, a managing partner here at the AMZ Group. I'm happy to see everybody, Keith and Jordan and John. Our fund, they invest from 30,000 to 300,000, mostly early stage. We're industry agnostic, and we invest all the way to round A, based here in the Silicon Valley.
Thank you so much. Who would like to jump in?
Anthony Shadim, Green Sky Capital. Great to be back here. Green Sky Capital invests in very sort of unique technology or science-powered companies who are looking for very differentiated products that, potentially the best or potentially best solution for a particular problem. We are fairly industry agnostic. Check size with $500,000 to $1 million. We open to connecting with entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jordan, I can see that you joined us today. How do you do?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm doing well. I'm Jordan Wabe, Silicon Valley Venture Group. Pleased to see all of you. The names are too many to mention. Keith, you look so serious, man. Smile a bit. Life is not so bad.
He's not that he's in a very good mood today. On the contrary.
It's in that smile something special. Look at that. It just, the whole screen lights up.
I'm just getting over COVID, like probably 70% of the people here.
So speaking of which, if you can send prayers and good wishes to our friend Marcelo, he has COVID and he's fighting with it. So if you have some prayers to send his way, let's all do that. We all miss him and we'd like to have him back. I'm Jordan Wabe with Silicon Valley Venture Group. We are in Silicon Valley. We invest in companies from seed, angel, all the way up to Series A. Our check sizes are between 30 and 300 through equity or convertible notes, and we like rounds up to $3 million. And we also partner with Alex and VC House and so forth in deal flow. We look for companies that improve the human condition and focuses on B2B or B2B2C with the intent of providing value back to humanity in a meaningful way. We're not an impact fund and anything like this. I can take 1 minute. Behind me is a picture of my cousin, and she just won the first place award for the IPAC this year, Distinguished Women of Chemistry and Chemical Engineering.
Awesome.
Besides being extremely proud of her, if you're listening and if you're here, if people look different, dress different, they have an accent, they don't speak really good English, it does not make them stupid. It does not make them unintelligent. They are as capable and as strong and as everybody else. So in the interest of being a preacher today, this lady, a woman, children, husband, liver cancer for 3 years, and she's accomplishing all this work. So if she can do it, I know you can too. So if you're a founder, if you are a minority, don't let anything stop you. It will happen. Just make sure it happens for you. And thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Jordan. This is
well,
really
well put, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, it shows that you're from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, and honestly, this is really at the same time amazing and inspiring, the story especially. Definitely, I'm sure that for everyone who's here, that is inspiring, and definitely we can do a lot of things for sure. Marisa, I'm really glad that you joined us today. How do you do today?
Oh, I'm doing great. And I see Ella. I saw her yesterday at her panel. I'm from Golden Seeds, and we're gender specific. So we invest in women-founded companies. The check size is $200K to $2 million. And I'm also an LP with Blumberg Capital. And this is early stage, and then they go all the way up to 10 million. And then my last exit was Airbnb. And then I finally was able to find a vaccine so I got my first dose. So if you keep trying, you can find it on those websites. And I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Here, how do you do?
I'm doing good, Maria. Thank you for inviting me here. This is Sudhir Kadam from FIDA Growth Partners in Silicon Valley. FIDA portfolio companies comprise of deep tech companies. We focus on B2B enterprise space in AI, NLP, computer vision, IoT, robotics, wellness technology, and so on. My role at FIDA is of venture building to put startups on from early adoption onto a growth path with the right go-to-market strategy and provide market access for growth. We welcome companies with early growth, product market fit, and repeatable traction, and look forward to connecting with great companies to be part of our portfolio. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Preeti, how do you do today?
Namaste from India. It's 11 o'clock nearly in the evening, and it's wonderful to be here. I'm very well. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Team Startup.Network, for having me here. My name is Preeti Chaudhary. I'm the founder of LinkedIn Local India and a partner with Unicorn Pitches for India. Our check sizes are 25K to 150K, sector agnostic, geography primarily India at the moment, but open to collaborations and talks and any kind of business facilitation world over. Good to be here. All the best to everybody pitching today. Very exciting. Last battle, and then it's the grand finale next week. So ready to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Preeti. John, once again, hi, how do you do today?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Crazy John Kojiro Moriwaka. Thank you so much, Maria and Alex, for inviting me again. Good to see Gary, Jordan, here. Almost every day I see you guys. It's 2 a.m. in Japan. I just woke up, but very, very excited to be here. Unfortunately, I couldn't go back to California because of the situation. I'm staying in Japan. Founded Silicon Valley largest entrepreneur community startup grind Fukuoka last year, and love to invite all of you to Japan afterwards. I still belong to Life Science Angels in Silicon Valley and Harvard Business School Alumni Angels in Northern California. I'm visiting professor in Japan and Myanmar and another country in Asia. And we also do the NPO group called US-Japan MedTech Frontiers. We usually bring 22 startups, MedTech startups from Silicon Valley to Japan every year as well. And also I'm CEO of Silicon Valley Ventures. We are advisory firm helping startups to large investment companies as well. And also columnist of Forbes Japan. So if you have interesting, innovative technologies, please feel free to message me. I love to interview all. Best luck, startups, and good to see judges. Thank you. Love from Japan.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you. I think the same is actually probably from Latin America. Aldo, how do you do? Where are you now?
Hi, Maria. Thank you. Very proud and very happy to be and join you. I'm founder of Palgo. We are investing in pre-seed and seed stage startups here locally in Peru, and we're evaluating another countries in Latin America. And it's agnostic by my personal preference is the technology and also Bitcoin, decentralized finance, etc. I'm very proud, as I said, to be part of the Startup Networks and the Unicorn Battle community, and also to participate in those events where Alexander lead us, but Keith, Piri, Jordan, Gary, Crazy John, you look familiar to me now, and let's see what happened. It's very difficult to evaluate those amazing startups, but we will try to do always our best. Good luck for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aldo. Avishai, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you very much for having me, Maria. I'm Avishai. I'm the co-founder and CEO of an award-winning technology embed construction and remodeling company based in San Francisco Bay Area. Also co-founded AMZ Group that specialize on angel investing. Our checks are in between 300 all the way to 330 to all the way to 300. We specialize in companies that's basically looking to disrupt the remodeling, home services, and construction industry. Best of luck to everybody. Looking forward to hear about companies that's looking to make the world better.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Who would like to proceed?
Thank you.
David, maybe you would like to jump in.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is David Credible. I'm here based in Miami. I'm managing partner of Vista Capital. We're an early stage venture fund focusing on primarily life science and technology companies, although we are technically industry agnostic, and our check sizes are up to $500,000 and looking to meet some interesting companies today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Francois, how do you do?
Hi, Maria. How are you? My second time here in the contest. Already familiar faces. I'm very happy to meet again. I'm with Camea Investimentos in Brazil. We do M&A of various industries, companies, large companies, and for a few years now we have a special care on startups in the technology sector, and with a special flavor on crypto. We advise a number of crypto companies. We coach the companies and do angel investments as well.
Thank you so much, Francois. Dmitro, how are you today?
How are you? Thank you. Nice to meet everyone. My name is Dmitro Martinenko. I'm from Kyiv, Ukraine. I represent the Ventures Fund. We are a recently established fund focusing on pre-seed, seed investments with check size around 250 till $500K. We are industry and geography agnostic. Today, I'm replacing my colleague, Arkady Vershebenyuk, who is managing partner of our fund. He was general manager in Uber Ukraine. Once again, nice to meet you, everyone, and good luck.
Thank you so much. If has everybody spoken? Has everybody presented himself or would like to speak?
I could go. Yeah, hi, my name is Slava Pedlisny. I'm managing partner of Network Investments, which is part of Startup.Network ecosystem. And actually, it's a meeting point for investment professionals and investment banks worldwide. We are here to exchange deals and to enlarge our deal flows globally, so we could have a better and more impact on what we do. So that's all. Who is interested, please contact me. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And right now we're moving to one of the most interesting parts of our today's event, which is exactly the pitching. So before we'll start, dear judges, every time I'm just for the case that somebody is joining us for the first time, I already know that all of you know, but still, to start voting, you just have to click on the link which you've got via email, and you will open it in a new window on your browser, and you will be redirected to the event page. So you have to scroll the page down to the startup section, and you'll see the logos and marks beneath there. And you have to put the marks depending on the investment potential from 1 to 5, where the 5 is, of course, the highest mark and 1 is the lowest. So in this case, you just have to evaluate from 1 to 5 without any confirmation buttons. You could also change your marks before the voting will be closed, and it will be closed after the last startup will finish pitching. So if you need some help accessing your profile or at our event page, please let us know in chat. Our support team can all the time advise you. And of course, please be attentive to every startup founder, because today they actually are doing they will be doing their best job actually to present their companies. And right now I'm really happy to move to the time where you'll be able to present. Also, I think there is additionally for our guests today the possibility to vote which startup is favorite, because remember that for all of us, your vote matters, of course, as we will be talking during the election. The same actually we can be talking during our events, of course. And of course, I'm really happy today to present our startups. Today we have 9 best companies which we gathered for our last battle this season. So please be attentive. Today we'll start with Micronoma. And I'm really pleased as well to have Sandrine, who is one of the founder or the only founder of your company. Sandrine, tell us more. And whenever you're ready, share your screen. And in that case, we'll be ready to start.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I like to be a one-man show, but I'm not. I have 3 co-founders. We have 3 co-founders. I'm going to tell you more about that in a second. So
whenever you're ready, we may start.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So I am located in California. I'm in the south end of California. I'm in San Diego. That's where Micronoma is headquartered. And our focus is to diagnose early stage cancer using a plasma signature that we find that of microbial origin. And we do that with a lot of AI and machine learning. So I won't be able to go into too much details, but hopefully that should be of interest to you. Why do we care about early cancer detection? Well, it's because, as you are unfortunately well aware, 18 million people get new cancer cases every year. 9 million are going to die of it every year. But we could make some changes for 4 million of the people on the planet if only we had an early detection method. And why is that? Here I'm giving you the lung cancer example. Most of our lung cancer, and it's worldwide, are detected in stage 3 or in stage 4. Unfortunately, at these stages, lung cancer is very difficult to cure, which gives a 5-year survival rate in the 5 to 20% over 5 years. If you were able to detect lung cancer in stage 1, the survival rate over 5 years is 90%, so make it a very curable disease. So really our goal is to be able to bring a method that can do early stage detection. As I mentioned, there is 3 of us who co-founded the company. We are coming from the University of California, San Diego, where we have one of the best microbiome centers, the Center for Microbiome Innovation. I myself have an industry pedigree. I just spent 3.5 years in UC San Diego and work with this team of co-founder, Greg and Rob, which are tremendous experts in the field of microbiome, to come up with this company. And so what do we mean by focusing on microbiome? We believe that life is microbial. Microbes were on the planet way before humans went there, bacteria, fungi, viruses. We had to adapt to them and not the other way around. When you look at our cell composition, we are only 30% human. When you look at our gene composition, only 1% of the genes in the human genome are from really human. There is 2 million of genes at all time on us, in us, producing tons of things that we need to survive. And so with that in mind, we decided to look at, hey, what about cancer? Is that a microbial link as well? And so that's the data that you will see that has been published in Nature in March 2020. We did a magnificent data mining through AI and machine learning in the Cancer Genome Atlas. It was 11,000 patients, 33 different tumor types, and it enabled us to arrive to multiple conclusions. Tumor tissue have microbes in them. And that is just starting to emerge as a science. So we confirmed that. What was most interesting to us is that these microbes are very specific from the cancer type. So the microbes in the lung tissue, cancer lung tissue is different from a breast cancer lung tissue. And we could distinguish between healthy and sick. And the most important thing that led us to Micronoma is that we can find this signature in the blood. We don't have to do biopsy. We can just take a blood samples and predict if you have a cancer type. And so that gives us a very easy solution. We take a blood samples, we analyze it, we give a likelihood report of cancer versus non-cancer. As you are well aware, this is a deadly disease, and so the market size is huge for cancer, even for liquid biopsy. And here we are at the early stage. You can see on this map, we are in the early stage of our company. We are going to raise Series A sometimes in July.
Thank you so much. Who would like to be the first one to ask questions?
I'm not too clear, if I may. Really well done. Thank you for this. I hope that you are super successful. That would be great. Your fundraising in July, I'm not clear about the status of the product or the service. How close is it to being at least in the field or ready to be used or even go into FDA testing? And the second question is, other than money, what else can we help you as a collective, as a group?
So thank you very much for this question. So in terms of the product, we are going to, liquid biopsy do not operate under FDA guidance in the early stage. We are operating under CLIA lab, so it's going to be a service provider. We are doing the validation and will be certified later this year so that we can start providing the assay. Specifically, our first assay is going to be for lung cancer, which is one of the most important cancer on the planet. We'll start being able to provide that as a CLIA certified service at the end of this year. So the Series A we are going to do is going to enable us to commercialize that and expand our portfolio of cancer detection kit. What beside supporting with finance, this is, as you may have known, microbiome and cancer detection are two hot topics, but that people have sometimes, and I guess that's why we're in the unicorn, it's too good to be true. And so we need to have the people enabling us to convey the message that no, it is not too good to be true. It is a reality. And so expanding the message of this technology would be great.
Thank you, Jordan. Who would like to proceed?
So is your goal to detect the cancer at stage 1? Is that what you're
Stage 1 and stage 2, yes, because this is where no one really works well right now. No method works really well in stage 1 and stage 2 at a time where it would be easier to cure the disease. Most methodology have to wait until your cancer reaches a certain size, stage 3 and stage 4, when you are at risk of metastasis and it's more difficult to cure. So yes, absolutely, we are focusing on early stage. We can detect on late stage, but other methods can do that. Our forte is really in the early stage.
So how close are you?
We we are doing right now, we are running our third study. So we ran the initial study on 11,000 samples, focused on 33 different cancer types. We did a smaller study on 3 cancer types, and now we are focusing on lung cancer on a cohort of about 1,000 people. So that's where we are doing our third validation on lung cancer as we speak.
How accurate were the results?
Sorry, excuse
that
me?
was the same question.
How accurate were the results?
So we are the most accurate on the market for right now. From what we have seen, we have a specificity and a sensitivity both around 90%. So in lung cancer specifically, one of the problem is a false positive, and we have very little false positive. And when I say it's a big problem, low-dose CT scan has about 90% false positive. We are way below that. We are between around 10% at most of false positive, which makes a big difference because you don't have to do tissue biopsy if you have little false positive.
Thank you so much, Sandrine. The time is up. Please, if you have additional questions, please proceed in chat. But also, while we will be moving to our startup number 2, I'll just remind you, although I already said it to all of our startup founders, but just a quick reminder that the only advice that we're giving, because we're broadcasting this live in very many countries on a couple of platforms, so it's not advisable to mention information about fundraising, and please, in this case, do not voice it. In case if you need to, you may discuss it privately later on in chat with our investors, with our judges. Thank you so much. And we're moving on. And right now, let me present our next startup. Who today is, I'm really welcome to see HyperSpec. Shravan, the floor is yours. Whenever you're ready, we may start.
Thank you, Maria. I have a pre-recorded presentation and I can do Q&A. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Shravan and I'm the CEO of HyperSpec, and we are revolutionizing robotic perception. Traditionally in robotic systems, HD maps and localization enabled navigation. However, creating HD maps costs several $1,000s per kilometer and requires massive data backhauling and takes several months to produce. At HyperSpec, we're disrupting HD maps by building map context on the edge in real time. We call this real-time scene context, and it reduces the cost of maps from several thousand to effectively zero. Requires no data backhauling and runs real time on the edge. How does this work? A traditional stack separates perception from HD maps. Collectively, they create scene context utilizing localization. There's several problems with this strategy. Localization error causes your map and perception stack to be misaligned. Map staleness also compromises scene context. And lastly, you can only localize or obtain scene context where the HD map is present. In our stack, we combine the concept of perception and the map into a single entity. Furthermore, we utilize traditional sat-nav aerial imagery in order to localize using a technique called cross-view localization. And this transforms the car's camera data into a bird's eye view of the scene. This removes the restrictions on coverage traditionally seen with HD maps. Additionally, because the perception and map data are coming from the same module, the scene will always be consistent without stillness. Our technology stack combines several modules together to create scene context, but fundamentally we use object recognition, depth estimation, scene segmentation, and cross-view localization to create a 3D scene context output, which is usable by the decision stack. Our goal is to become a drop-in replacement for HD maps and localization in traditional self-driving car stacks. We feel that we can accelerate the $36 billion self-driving car industry by 36 months, utilizing real-time scene construction in place of HD maps. This system can also assist in other robotic applications, in addition to mobility and transportation as well. In summary, we increase the serviceable area to have worldwide coverage, We reduced the cost of map creation from $5,000 per kilometer to effectively $0 per kilometer. And we reduced the lag from 2 to 3 months to real time for creating the local map. If you have any questions about our team or want to learn more about the company, please use the contact information below to reach out to us for a follow-up conversation.
Thank you. Who would like to be the first to ask a question?
Thank you, Shravan. I have a question for you. So are you talking of 3D SD imaging or mapping, or are you talking about scene detection?
So we're combining the concept of perception and mapping to create what we call a local map in real time using edge computing. So traditionally, you have a prior map that's stored on your hard drive that's processed, offline in the cloud using, people to annotate the map, and it gets published. What we're doing instead is we're using the real-time edge computing in the car to convert the sensor data into a local map using an end-to-end neural network. So it has the same semantics as an HD map, but it's produced real time.
Okay. So are you able to take? Are you also able to take this technology beyond the autonomous vehicles into the space to look at the debris in the space where the satellites are moving?
It would require a little bit of tuning, but we would have to look into that and probably get back to you.
Okay.
So this is a hardware product, and do you have are you a prototype, or are you actually deploying these?
So we have a prototype that we've used to collect data from all over London to train our end-to-end neural network. And we're also collecting data from San Francisco. So in 2020, we have completed the data collection system, which is what we use to train our algorithms. And in 2021, we're focusing on the software layer, which is replacing the HD maps in the decision stack.
Right, and then where the cameras manufactured?
So we take existing CMOS sensors and we manufacture them ourselves using PCBs, custom PCBs.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Are you working with any of the car manufacturers?
Yeah, so we had a 300K NRE with Daimler to produce the initial prototype. And then we're also doing some technology development fundraising from NSF and SBIR grants.
Thank you so much. We still have time for one question.
What's the market size that you described?
So we're looking to replace HD maps completely. So if you look at the US road network, I would say 5% of the road network probably requires HD maps because of the scene complexity. But 95% of the roads are quite simple with four-way intersections and simple traffic lights. So that's our market. We're looking to deploy our software in the 95% use case.
The time is up. Thank you so much, Shravan. Thank you, everyone. We are moving forward because the next in line is Atom Planner. And Peter, whenever you're ready, we may start.
Hello, I'm getting my screen shared.
Yeah, please share your screen. Ready?
Yes, it seems okay. So most organizations have over 70% fail rate on complex projects, despite the technologies they use and the best practices. And the fact is that the common critical path is no longer enough. I'm Peter Mello, CEO and co-founder of Atom Planner, and it's time for an improvement, which I bring with 20 years of experience and our solution. Basically, construction companies in the US, they deal with losses of $120 million for every $1 billion spent, and that is due of resource overloads and collisions, which then generates date myths and cost overruns. And what we bring here is Atom. Atom reduces the cost of construction companies by optimizing resource utilization. That means that we use our automatic resource scheduling service in a way of accelerating milestones and promoting profit growth. Basically, we get the company's input data from different types of software, such as Leading, MS Project, Oracle, and other softwares available. And we're going to read these files on the cloud and understand the requirements, the needs, the priorities, and the resources available. So in this example, for example, we bring down a project from 261 days to 227 days just by adjusting where the resources are being used first and their priorities, which means we're shaving more than an entire month off from 9 months just by conducting resource scheduling optimization. Basically, we can operate from smaller projects and common tools or more difficult tools to use for huge projects such as Oracle Primavera. But the true fact is that once we combine any of these solutions to what we bring on the cloud for resource optimization, we make every tool easier and more powerful to solve these complex scheduling problems. We are working with a couple of customers, getting our first pilot on the run. We aim to get as a first goal in the first year and so 30 companies with an average of 15 projects, which could bring us to a $21 million in revenue for that stage. But if you look at the market for assistant planners, people that we can actually replace with the logics from the computing, we are talking about $312 billion in the US market. I'm Peter Mello, and with my co-founder, Frederico Ramos, we are both project management specialists. I'm the first and only Latin America to receive a Project Management Excellence Award from the Project Management Institute. And we have our strong arms with the CTO for our technology side with Fernando Possebon. As a go-to-market, we started presenting our prototype in 3 countries, and then we got our first angel investors. Then this year, we took the year for the acceleration programs. We took part of Founder Institute in Silicon Valley and the Shell Power to Innovate. So we just launched our MVP, launched our company, and we are running our pilot with TMSA.
Time is up.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate your questions.
Who would like to be the first?
I have a question. What other software do you can collaborate with other than Oracle?
Yeah, today we decided to move out from the platform. So we basically read file types, and mostly MS Project and Primavera files are common. Most of the other applications will run with that too. But we do some CSV interpretation, and we can work with adjustments for other tools as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next question.
This is Jordan. I know you're MVP and so forth. What's your expectation on your path to market? Channels, cycles, cost? Do you have such numbers?
Yeah, basically our big challenge is to really get the first case running, right? And that is why the prototype that we are, the pilot we are running now is going to be important. But we already have developed some channels. So for example, we have a company in Boston that have met us and understood the value of what we can bring. So they're going to work our business side and find us the first companies to connect to, so we can actually talk about sales with them.
So it's a reseller model?
Yeah, the basic idea is like a subscription model. We're going to pay, we're going to take out the necessity for the assistant planner. We're going to work directly with the, how to say, the senior planner can do more, right?
No, sir.
And from there, we can share these value with the channels.
Do you have a sense of the cycle it takes to land your product from, hello, my name is Jordan, to here's a signature, and then what's the total cost to acquire a customer to you right now? Or is it too early for that?
Yeah, it's a little early, but we know that we're going to take anything from 4 months to 9 months based on the experience we had with another software we were connecting to. So it's a long cycle, but it's very interesting once you get the first cases, because it's really scalable on this matter.
Got it. And without talking about numbers, what's your runway on the amount of money you're raising?
Well, right now we are cutting down the costs in technology, because the MVP is fully functional for the moment we are. So we have an operational budget for the next 6 months.
So you're going to raise again in 6 months?
No, well, we should be raising now because we have a 6-month runaway.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We still have time for questions.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. No questions remaining.
Yeah, so the time is up. Thank you so much. In that case, we are moving forward to our startup number 4, which is Tru-Spot Technologies. Gregory, please share your screen, and whenever you're ready, we may start.
See my screen, Maria?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us. I am Greg Proctor. I'm the co-founder of Tru-Spot Technologies. There's also a founder. His name is Mr. Will Sims. So basically, for years, we have basically, as a fan, we have looked at and attended games in a physical presence. And with regards to that physical presence, it requires you to basically have a butt in seat, no pun intended. So over the past 10 years, attendance has been diminishing quite drastically. And what we've seen is that within the past year, oh, my screen, come on. Within the past year, COVID has kind of reshaped our dynamics of how we participate in live events. And in a combination of that, we've viewed basically team owners, concept promoters, frantically looking for solutions to recoup basically what we consider to be lost revenue. So besides the obvious, besides crowds and security and traffic and so forth and so on, and if you are sitting in the stands, you basically deal with rowdy seats and so forth and so on. You know, it's very painful here in the US for a family of 4 to go to a game without having to spend $4 or $5, maybe even $1,000. And so when we look at those type of things, we do understand that ticket revenue and the overall aspect for proper seating and the viewpoint of having a great seat tends to be most important. And so now we basically have involved or innovated an overall strategy that we call Tru-Spot. And Tru-Spot basically is more than live streaming. It's more than watching your overall program on television. What tends to happen is we are a company that basically has specialized in augmented reality. And basically we provide a systematic approach for online virtual seat purchasing. And what that enables you to do is you can basically purchase that seat, sit in that seat from the comforts of your home. And as we have tapped into this market, what we've recently understand is basically our competitors have basically failed to recreate the overall fan engagement experience. And so therefore you tend to miss the overall controls, the live communication, the virtual amenities, and tailgating that goes along with that. How do we stack up against our competition? Well, there you can see here on this chart. Our overall market, as we look at it today, through the sporting and music venue, makes up about $40 billion in overall ticket sales. And Tru-Spot has really been focused in on how do we tap into that market based on the total addressable market being roughly 60 million seats worldwide. Our current traction as it stands right now, we have a clickable prototype with 10 or 15 prospects in place, basically ranging from the NFL to the NBA, so forth and so on. Social media, we have a large following of about 30,000. We have been publicized over 20 articles nationwide. We're involved in a lot of the national sports forums and talks. We're currently engaged in a national accelerator program. We have patent pending. Our business model operates on a B2C and a B2B2C type of approach. Our team overall is combined with over 90 years of experience, including. Thank you very much. Any questions?
You have still at least a few seconds. You can finish just sentence, just in case.
Oh, I'm sorry. So our team with 90 years of experience, and basically the industry needs this particular technology, primarily because of virtual seating, double booking capacity, immersive events. The fan engagement has been lost.
Thank you.
Thank you,
who would like to be the first one to ask a question?
Hi, Greg. My name is Jules. So when VR came out, VR AR came out, I thought that the holy grail of this was going to be, I think what you're trying to sell here is the fan experience of live events, but it really hasn't happened. So 2 questions here is, what is different about your solution? And then secondly, it wasn't clear on who your customer is. Are you selling to the teams? Are you selling to the leagues? Are you selling to the venues? Or are you selling to the fans?
Yeah, I do apologize because one of my slides got skipped over, but let me just answer your question. We utilize an augmented reality, so the immersation does not require the Oculus headset, and basically who we're selling to, basically all of the above. So we have ticket purchasing built in as a fan, and we also sell B2B, which means that we sell not only to the ticketing arenas and the stadiums also.
Thank you so much. The next question.
Hey, Gregory, it's Jordan. Did you say B2B2C or B2C?
Yeah, so we have B2C, so business to customer, and then we have business to business to customer, because in a lot of cases, as we're dealing with venues and stadiums, we're selling or licensing our technology to those stadiums.
As you look forward in the next year or two, give me the breakdown of revenue from B2B2C and then B2C. How much of your revenue will be B2C and how much of percentage will be B2B?
Right now, I would have to say that's probably going to be in the neighborhood of about a 60-40 split. Primarily our technology and the versatility of it goes beyond sports. It also goes into movies and fashion shows and other different extremities. So therefore, we're not just eccentric to sports and concerts. There's a lot of different other capacities. Yeah.
Thank you. Is 60% B2C, sir?
Yes, sir. Correct.
So what's the longevity of your business with things going up and down, things opening, things closing? How do you sustain the next year or so? This COVID thing is going to be with us a couple more years at least.
Yeah, so great question. Basically, to answer your question, what's happening is what we've discovered through our studies and research is the fact that our double booking technology allows for, when we do re-immerse back into normalcy, we have the capability to be able to put virtually 2, 3, 4 different virtual seats into play during a live event. And so therefore, as most stadiums and concerts are looking at trying to regain revenue, lost revenue, give you a good example, it's like Live Nations. When they sell out of seats, they typically have capacity to sell more seats, but they can't sell any more seats because the venue is already sold out. So Tru-Spot offers an avenue to expand upon that.
What's the cost going to be to the consumer?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that question.
What's the cost to the consumer?
Cost of consumer, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20% less than the actual physical ticket seat on our platform.
And you are in the US only, North America, or are you expanding overseas later on?
Yes, sir. So we're starting out, once our proof of concept is completed, we're starting out basically regionally, then we're going to expand nationwide, and we're looking to go internationally as well.
Thank you so much. The time is up. Please proceed with further questions in our chat. We are moving forward to our startup number 5, and this is Tesuji Games Inc. or Tesuji. How should I properly pronounce it? Benji, the floor is yours. Whenever you're ready, we may start.
Great, thanks. Let me share my screen. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
There's Mr. Rilla. Hi, everybody. So I'll just go over to my slides real quick. So really, we, as a company, Tesuji's been bootstrapped for the last 3.5 years. First building out Rumble, which is a group video chat and live streaming game and game show platform. And then we also built out a augmented reality pet game, kind of like Animal Crossing, but augmented reality. As we were building out these prototypes and experimenting with the space of live interactive experience to really connect people through play, since I started off my career really being a CTO for a dating app in the past, I found that video chat with people is really, really fun. Live streaming with people is really, really fun. Getting that interactive experience is a great way. But finding a way to monetize and understand that as a way to initially get some great funds is a challenge. So looking across the various verticals that I could take the technology that my company had built out, we landed upon the education and technology vertical, and we came up with an idea to combine our Rumble technology, which is this live streaming game show platform, with our game to create an educational platform. And really, this was to address the problem that kids are really getting super into their games and not learning a ton, while the parents themselves are wanting something online for their kids to really get educated for. And with COVID coming, we've all seen this transfer into the online space as a deep market to really delve into. We want to connect people, we want them to learn, and they want them to play together. And finding an immersive experience is what we could do. So we came up with Tracks, which takes our Critters augmented reality pet game, which is kind of like Animal Crossing, and combines it into this kind of live learning experience. So you could think of Sesame Street live with Animal Crossing. We have fun, easy rewards that kids can learn. We have teachers that could be Mr. Croc, Mr. Hoot, taking these live classes, then applying those earned rewards from the live streams over into the game world that they get to play with. There's mining, there's there's crafting, there's collecting, there's all sorts of mini games. So a really fun, exciting place to apply their learning that they've learned about maybe precipitation, or if they've learned about little bugs, or about life sciences, or doing fitness. We go over various curriculum topics, really trying to align ourselves with the kind of 5th grade curriculum in a sense. We have, in the past launched some really awesome products, Rumble, Crowd Quiz, Critters. So we have a really great experience delivering the technology. And we actually have just launched a soft launch this month in January. And I'm pretty excited to get it out there. It's a subscription model product. So, for $199 or $599, you can end up getting a week or a monthly subscription. We plan on taking this product and then allowing more and more teachers to launch their own private cohorts. So we get that kind of institutional setup going, so we can get into school districts and such. No time. So yeah, excited to dig into it. It's a very large market, and we have a SOM of about 80 million. So yeah, if you have any more questions about us, feel free to contact me, benji@tesuji.io.
Thank you. Who would like to be the first?
Benji, I hate to say this, but what do you do, sir?
What do I do?
Yeah, what's the product? I'm not clear on what it does. Keith, don't
Yeah,
laugh
for
at
sure.
me.
Yeah, it's a live streaming educational product with a game world coupled into it.
A quick use case, if you will. Maybe others could use from it. Just a quick.
Yeah, for sure. Many kids out there love playing Minecraft, love playing Animal Crossing, and really what we're providing is an educational experience where the kids can learn about various content, things in the world to learn about, and then they can apply that learning into the game world that they can play in within Tracks. So it's a consumer product for sure.
Yeah. So Benji, it's a nice presentation. Looks like a great product, but gamification in education is all over the map right now. So how are you going to differentiate yourself from the others? And
sure.
and pushing this into homes is not easy because parents are trying to cut down on screen time.
Understood. Yeah. So I think that really cutting down on screen time is kind of where we saw the crux of the problem. People are playing games all the time, and those games are just tap, 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 not much learning going on there. So presenting a live interactive show, kids love and parents love Sesame Street. They love watching these shows. I think, yeah, it's still screen time, but it's educational screen time. So providing an interactive live streaming show where the kids can ask the teacher questions, they can get into the experience. There's a really fun character narrative that can be explored, and then they can bring that into the game world. And that's where we kind of monetize the experience, because we're providing an educational experience that is also really quite fun.
Do you have any validation from the market?
We do, yeah. So since we just soft launched, we've had some pretty awesome growth happening. It's still soft launch, so we haven't really done our advertising yet. We're going to be turning that on the next 2 weeks to really start to see what our paid acquisition happens. But the organic acquisition has been great. We've gotten some solid feedback from parents. They love the characters. They love the learning experience. They love how short the content is. So we try to really keep the content to around 5 minutes, just because attention spans are a little short. And then the game experience that the kids then get to play to apply that learning, we've gotten some great feedback as well. AR is challenging as a physical experience, and have kids learn about that AR is challenging. And so really providing a useful and capable way for them to play with that AR, we've really dug deep on that. And so I feel like we've kind of nailed it. It's like going into a diorama and playing with your little characters as kind of from a God perspective. And yeah, we've had some great feedback. A couple kids I saw playing, their parents sent us videos. They were perched up on their couch, just playing the game and learning. It's pretty fun. So yeah.
The time is up. Thank you so much, Benji. We are moving forward, and right now our next startup is Khal Inc. And Samir, whenever you're ready, please share the screen, and we may start. Ready?
You are on mute.
Yes, please unmute yourself. Samir?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, please go back to the first slide and we will start. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samir Tendulkar, and I'm the founder and CEO of Khal. Don't let this apron and this hat fool you. I'm a Python full stack developer who loves to cook. So once when I came home, I had my friend who's a chef. He was applying to a restaurant, and I saw him apply. He had his resume and 25, 35 different attachments of all the beautiful food that he had cooked. I looked at him and I said, dude, what is this? This is so 1990s. Who sends an email with 35 attachments? And he started laughing and he was like, this is how we chefs do it. And he said his other options were Instagram. But on Instagram, it has pictures of you drinking with your buddies. It has pictures of you with your pets. It has pictures of you on the beach. Now, these are all exaggerated images. But he said those golden words. He said that there is no dedicated cooking social media or a dedicated cooking professional network out there. This was a eureka moment for me. So I built Khal.com. It is a cooking profile for chefs and people who love to cook. You can have a bio page where you can have all your cooking details, and you can have a recipe page where you can show all your recipes. And then slowly I added more social features to it. You could actually, we gave people 10 points for adding his recipe. We gave him 15 points for going on other people's profiles, making their recipes. We started giving them cooking badges, cooking points, followers. And all of a sudden, our platform just blew up. A lot of people started joining our platform. Today, 95% of the people on our platform are not professional chefs. We have more than 14,000 users on our platform as of today morning, and they are from all over the world. Majority of them are from the United States. In December of last year, we were featured as the 100 best social media startups of 2020. Early this month, in January, we were featured as 25 awesome cooking-oriented startups to keep an eye on in 2021. We came at number 5. Competition. As of right now, there's absolutely no place on the internet where you could have a dedicated cooking platform. Khal is the only one. There are recipe sites like Epicurious and All Recipes. The problem with these sites is they have staff chef who add recipes, and they get guest chef who can add recipes. I can only like, comment, and share. I cannot add my recipes to, I cannot make my cooking profile on Epicurious or All Recipes. There are sites like Facebook and Instagram, which are really good social medias, but I can't give someone my Facebook profile and say, look at my cooking profile. So we are unique in what we are doing, and we are killing it. The team has me, Samir Tendulkar. Prior to this, I had another company which I grew from 0 to $16 million in sales. I have the editor of Inc. magazine as my CMO. I have the dean of the best culinary school in New York City. They won the 2018, 2018, 2019 state championships. And when he heard about the idea, he was completely blown away. He joined in as the chief culinary officer. We have the CFO of McCann, the marketing director of Bloomberg and Forbes. We have another lead developer, plus my awesome brother. We want to make this a multi-billion-dollar company. And who wants to taste the sweet success and be a part of Khal.com? Thank you.
The first question?
So Samir, how long did it take for you to get to 14,000 users?
So we started this company I've been coding it for since the last 12 months, but 6 months is when we went live. And for the first 2-3 months, I had no movement. I couldn't get people on the site, but slowly, when people started coming in, it's always like growing. Like today I have 200 people who signed up today in the morning. So we are growing. Since it started, it was slow, but in the last 6 months, since we've gone live, every day we are breaking yesterday's records.
So that's great, okay, Samir, to know. But we are investors, right? We only look at numbers. So what has been your growth rate month over month or week over week for the last 3 months?
So like today I have 261 users. In this month, I had total, I have 14,300 users. In this month alone, I think I have around 3,500 new users. So every month, it's almost like we are actually 30 or 40%, 30% better than the last month that we were. So, and if you actually go on our site, we have people who are putting recipes on our site. Some of them have more than 90,000 followers on YouTube and Instagram. So a lot of people are so our early adopters are just loving our platform.
Samir, yeah, Anton here, sorry. So how do you monetize or plan to monetize?
So Khal is a social media. So just like other social medias like Facebook and Instagram, revenues will come in a little late. Like today, if you see TikTok, it's worth $100 billion. They're still trying to figure out the revenue model. But when we start making revenue, it'll be through culinary job postings, culinary events, and through targeted advertisements. We collect a lot of data of our users.
Are you looking at partnerships as a way to?
We will be looking at partnerships with cooking channels, with dating sites, because on dating sites, if you see, cooking is the #1 hobby of dating sites. One of our users actually told us that, you know, a lot of people say cooking, but when he added his cooking profile on his dating site, he got very lucky, he said. So we are trying to partner with cooking sites, with dating sites. We actually have a lot of companies who want to come and make organization pages on Khal as well. We already have cooking schools doing that.
Who is your targeted crowd? Professional chefs, hobbies?
So we started off as a platform dedicated for cooking chefs. However, 95% of our platform is full of people who love to cook. I have accountants, I have musicians, I have a cryptocurrency VC in there. So anybody, because a lot of the people when they cook, like 41% Americans love to take pictures of what they cook and add it to social media. So we are giving them a platform. We are quantifying their cooking skills. I want people to say, I cook good. Check my Khal profile.
Thank you. I'm sorry, the time is up. Please, Zohar, continue in our chat. We need to move forward. And our next startup to be presented right now, the next company is Seva Exchange Corporation. So Anita, whenever you're ready to share the screen, we may start. I think you just need to do the full screen, not to share it yes. And can you hear me? Because I cannot hear you right now. Maybe you are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. If you're ready.
I will be in just a second. Okay.
Start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Anita Bieberg, and I'm the CEO of Seva Exchange Corporation, and we are reinventing volunteerism. This is not moving. Sorry. We are a private social network with purpose where we organize communities, equip them with the right tools, such as AI and resources, and then measure their success. For our biggest source of revenue, which is corporate America, we've listed 4 problems that exist today, which our software can address. Remote workers and their feeling of disempowerment and disconnect, and the corporate disconnect in America within a polarized environment. And here's how the Seva X app can address these problems. We can facilitate the disconnect of building bridges that enable better and transparent communication. We also help corporate America walk the talk with their diversity and inclusion and give back initiatives. Our Seva X platform helps engage more people by connecting 4 critical sectors with the general volunteering population: nonprofits, higher education, corporations, and the public sector. Corporations need to increase volunteering amongst their employees and meet their CSR needs. And within corporations, this addresses employee relations, matching needs to support, and the ability to have internal groups, mentoring, learning, dialogue. So our comprehensive solution allows the positive aspects of a Facebook, social media, meetups, event planning engagement, GoFundMe's fundraising capabilities, and free cycles offering requesting of goods within a reciprocity-based platform. Our key differentiators are private and secure data, intelligent skills matching, data analytics, and reporting and project management capabilities. We sell subscriptions to our platform with multi-levels of admin capabilities to allow for low entry pricing for communities, all the way up to high margin enterprise offerings to corporations and large nonprofits. For communities, we'll monetize with ads and coupons and offer paid premium features to users. These are our verticals that we plan to focus on later. So we deployed our platform to someone named Andrew Yang, who ran for president. He is now running for mayor of New York City, by the way. We've got citywide pilots going on in Anchorage, Alaska, Oakland, and Long Beach. We've got our enterprise client at Dartmouth-Hitchcock in New Hampshire. And we're partnered with Democracy Watch News, some veterans groups, dvwatch.org, RightGift. So we have 9 months of sequential user growth right now, and which we actually acquired free digitally on using social media.
Time.
All our team, including myself, have decades of domain experience, expertise, and C-level experience. And we have an exceptional team of advisors from varying technical, marketing, and finance backgrounds. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Who would like to be the first one to ask a question?
I'd like to say, first of all, it's probably one of the most clear and concise pitches I've heard in a very long time. So congratulations to you for presenting to us.
How much do I pay you?
Having said that, can you talk to us about some of your traction, where you are and kind of the numbers? Obviously, you have your model for monetization, but talk to us about where you are and maybe some of the projections.
We've got about 65 communities right now. So we first focused initially on a freemium model for communities. We also were lucky enough, because we had Andrew Yang and they were using the Humanity First app, which we built. We converted them to create some communities on our platform. We also had, because of the social media, we had tons of nonprofits, and we even got Dartmouth from social media. So our approach now is to just go mayors of cities and work with them and bring on nonprofits at the same time, as well as bring in the corporations within those cities to say, hey, why don't you support your community where you're located? So it seems to be working. They like this. It doesn't cost them that much, but.
Can you talk to us about your revenue projections?
Yes, I do have that. I wouldn't mind talking about it a little later. I have all the documentation for it. So if you don't mind. So I wasn't supposed to talk about.
What's a good high level?
I have a slide for it if you want to see. This is one of them.
There
This
you go.
helps.
That's good enough. Yep.
Okay.
And Ethan, can you walk through kind of a case study on how you work with large corporations?
Usually I approach them, if it's usually through social media like LinkedIn, I approach the best place to go out.
What are they buying? What are they buying from you? What are they purchasing from you?
They're purchasing a platform that not only their employees can use, it's mostly from like an HR benefits perspective. They offer this to their employees. There's already, programs like Google offers $15 matches, for every hour you volunteer to their employees. Well, this makes it a lot easier for people, because now you can go volunteer and help a neighbor. You can volunteer, help a church or a nonprofit. And all of that information is given in a report. So then you can hand that to your employer. I mean, this is just one of many things. Dartmouth-Hitchcock is actually using it for diversity, equity, inclusion. They've included, can I share for 1 sec the screen so you can see what it looks like? Or there, it just, Dartmouth, let's see here. Area. So they are using the platform for, see some of these groups here that they're using it for. Allies for Racial Equity, some medical stuff, Asian American heritage and things like that.
Time.
Okay.
Please, Anita, please proceed. Thank you so much for your presentation. Proceed with questions in our chat. And we need to move forward because our next startup, number 8, which is called to be zero. Steve, whenever you're ready, we may start.
Thank you very much. I just want to say I'm very, very impressed with the other startups here that are presenting. It's an honor to be included with all these amazing companies and all these great ideas. So thanks very much for having us here. 2B0 is a startup that envisions a brand new way to do recycling in the home, offices, and also retail locations. And I'm going to pull up our deck now for you. And I'm assuming everyone can see that okay? Okay. So recycling is a very dynamic industry. It's absolutely huge. Municipalities are doing it all over the world. There's an understanding that we need to recycle better. We believe that recycling starts best in the home, office, and also in retail environments. With COVID happening, obviously, we're switching more towards the home environment right now. And what we have envisioned is a machine that you can, or an appliance even, but you can actually put in your recyclable materials. The materials are automatically recognized by our system using AI recognition and auto sensing technologies. The materials are then automatically processed. And in the case of an aluminum can, for example, it gets ground up to make the volume smaller and to actually increase the value of that recyclable material as well. The same thing would happen with steel cans like soup cans, plastic containers, paper products, and also we're looking at a solution for composting as well. Our technology is patented, so we have established patents in the US, and we have patents pending right now in Canada, Europe, China, South Korea, and also Japan. Yeah, I want to say hi to Crazy John, konnichiwa. So again, we're very excited about what we've done so far and where we're going. So what we've done so far is to establish the technology, establish the fact that there is a market for what we're doing. There are other companies that have started to get into this space, and we're more than happy to leverage as far as what they've done already from a market perspective. So again, just to kind of reiterate, we have an AI-driven machine with automatic waste recognition, sorting, and learning. The material is ground up. We can reduce the volume as much as 93%. This means that recycled processing costs are lowered. Municipalities don't have to pick up stuff from your front lawn every week. They can pick it up once every month. And then we have an IoT application that actually will do big data integration. And this is also huge for us. There are lots of applications out there right now that will gather data as far as what we're buying, our finances. There's so many different data points that are being aggregated and collected. No one is doing data aggregation from the perspective of waste management. So from this perspective, we think that there's a huge opportunity just from the data part of it. We like to use the analogy of Nespresso. When you buy a Nespresso coffee maker, they are basically selling you the unit at cost because they're making a huge amount of revenue from what they're supplying you with afterwards. And it's the same thing with our 2B0 recycling robot. We're actually, sir, thank you.
I'd like to know, just jumping on the question.
Yes,
I'd like
please.
to know what actually your machine does to the material, to the trash. Is it only a grinder, or do you have other kind of treatment in the machine?
That's an excellent question. So it depends on the waste material. So in the case of paper, for example, we're likely just going to compress that. We're not going to grind it up because the recycle purchasers don't need to have paper ground up. In the case of aluminum, absolutely we want to grind that up. In the case of steel, some of it's going to be specific to the municipalities as well. And we're looking to partner with various municipalities. We have a business model that we think can be highly profitable without those partnerships. Just getting this stuff into the homes and offices alone has a huge amount of revenue potential. We think it's very, very scalable. If we can cross that magic threshold and partner with municipalities to the point where they're giving consumers a bit of a tax credit because the municipalities themselves are saving money by not having to pick up waste so often, then we think that this business model can just go through the roof.
Just a complementary question. Can I throw paper and aluminum can together in the machine at the same time and it will be recognized and treated?
Yeah, that's another great question. So, and from the perspective of the user of the system, we're going to have to educate them a little bit. So if you put in both at the same time, we don't expect the machine would be able to say, oh, I've got 2 things coming in simultaneously or 4 things coming in simultaneously. So we would direct them to put things in one by one. The experience itself, we've actually gamified to make it really addictive. So they can actually watch the material on the screen being ground up and they can share those videos on social media as well.
Can you talk to us about the cost of the unit, the retail, the wholesale and retail costs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cost of manufacture, yeah.
Yeah, so we've been talking to various engineering firms about getting our MVP up and running, and then we obviously once we have that up and running and we start to establish our supply chains, we'll be able to lower that cost. The cost that we have right now is $1,500 US. We think we can get that way down. And we're looking at, I can see you shaking your head because I know.
Well, I mean, when you think about kitchen appliances, what you pay for them, I mean, that's, you know, really up there. That's, you know, it's, it's beyond a lot of people's reach. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's why we're thinking if we can partner, first of all, we know that we can get market penetration at that price point. And then when we partner with municipalities so they can get a tax break, if they can get a tax break of even just a small amount of $300 a year, five years and the unit pays for itself. And the other part of it too, Keith, is that we're looking at partnering with various retailers and promotional companies so that people that are recycling will actually get rewarded for recycling. And this is another exciting part of what we've done so far. We want to make sure that people are motivated to do it. They're not going to just go out and say, I'm going to buy a machine for the sake of buying a machine. I'm not going to put extra effort into it for the sake of extra effort. People are very selfish by nature. So we gamify the experience, we reward people for recycling, and then again, more importantly, establish some of these partnerships, either at the corporate level or also at the municipal level as well. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Steve.
My pleasure.
We are moving forward to the last today's startup, but not least, definitely optimal efficiency. Corinne, whenever you're ready, we may start. Ready? And by the way, maybe also unmute yourself because I cannot hear you right now.
Yes, thank you. That's going to help. Okay, so we have also my colleague Philippe who is going over the slides. So I'm just going to give you some background about optimal efficiency and how the company started.
Guys?
Yes. Okay. So my name is Corinne Sampson. I'm the CEO and founder of Optimal Efficiency. I'm originally from Quebec City, so the French part of Canada. And I've been working as a civil engineer for a couple years in complex remote projects in the Canadian Arctic and also in Fort McMurray, which is the equivalent of a mini Texas, but for Canada in the oil and gas industries. And I realized that a lot of very costly mistakes were happening. So whether we were in the Canadian Arctic, in Fort McMurray, whether it was in the construction, mining, or oil and gas industries, those recurring inefficiencies were happening everywhere, regardless of the location and the size of the projects. So I decided to start a fully integrated project management system that would cover the entire spectrum from bidding on a project through the construction and the commissioning. So I spoke with a few colleagues of mine at that time with 20, 30 years of experience in the field. And they all confirmed that if we had a software like this, most of our issues would have been easily avoided. So that gave me the encouragement to resign from my engineering job and start the company, Optimal Efficiency. So we received the funding from the government of Canada to start the first minimal viable product. And now we're headquartered in Los Angeles, California. We successfully completed paying pilot projects with some of the largest general contractors of America. We have assembled a very strong management team and also a team of subject matter experts and advisory board comprised of former executives from the U.S. defense sector, the intelligence community, and also tech experts from Silicon Valley. So we are currently in the process of a Series A financing. We're 65% subscribed, and we're planning to close our round by February 24th. We are looking for, of course, if there's any partners that are interested in this opportunity, please feel free to reach out to us. I will leave my contact information in the box in the chat room after. So my email is ksampson@oeteam.com, but please make sure to CC investing@oeteam.com. And also, I'd love to talk with other tech companies that have complementary technology to optimal efficiency. So any tech providers in the field of machine learning, artificial intelligence, 3D technologies like BIM, mixed realities, camera vision, etc. We are interested to collaborate. We have over 20 companies in our OE ecosystem. So please feel free to reach out to us if you're a tech startup that is interested at collectiveintelligence@oeteam.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would be the first one to ask a question or to share some feedback?
I'll give feedback. Karine, this was more of a commercial on the team, and I didn't learn anything about your business at all, so I'm not sure how to rank you and rate you.
Okay, thank you. So I can provide more information about this, or I take the feedback. Should I provide more info, Maria, at this point?
Can you speak to some specifics on the projects that you've already worked on, the collaborations that you've done?
Yes. So basically, it's a project management system, and we have two modules so far that we have released, which are called the Nexus and the Field Management. And it allows the users to be able to collaborate and have access to the information in real time. And so far, we have been working with some of the largest general contractors on those paying pilot projects. And now we are in our way to close for a minimum of 4 contracts.
Can you give us a specific example?
Yes. So for example, if there are any RFIs or drawings that there are some changes on the job site, those changes can be communicated in the program, and all the other stakeholders that need to have access to this information will receive an alarm, and it avoids that things. It accelerates the decision-making process as well.
I have a question. How do you address the competitors such as Buildertrend, CoConstruct, Salesforce, Improve 360, etc.?
So that's a good question. All of them have their strengths. How we are very different from a software provider that are providing real-time data is the integration with the 3D technologies, because according to Forbes, the human brain and multiple studies, the human brain is not wired to see in 3 dimensions. So therefore, by having the capability to integrate a technology to a 3D model allows people to make proactive decisions. For example, if we're talking about the job site, if you are able to see in advance where there could be some potential conflicts between material, then you're going to avoid multiple issues and schedule delays.
Thank you. We still have time for one question.
Sure.
We just saw a presentation here from a company called Adam Planner. How would you differentiate yourself from that company?
I'm sorry, I was on another business meeting that I had to take, but one of my colleagues was attending the call and mentioned that we should reach out to this company because they have they are in the same space, and they could be potentially some company that we could collaborate with.
Thank you. The time is up. Please proceed with further questions in chat. But right now, actually, there is only probably 1 minute for you to please evaluate each of the startups today because very soon we're just about to close our voting, and very soon we're going to find out which startup today is the best. So I hope so that everyone have already voted from our judges.
Yeah, they have 2 minutes at least. And while judges are finishing voting and startups are catching their breath after such exciting presentations, I also would like, dear judges, pay attention to our poll. We're doing little surveys in all different parts of the world and would like to know your opinion since you are in Silicon Valley. Please tell us, why do you think that things are happening in Silicon Valley the way they are? Take as many answers as you think appropriate and press submit. And we'll talk about it some more a little bit later during the networking session. And I know that Alexander has something for the winner, who is going to present, not only going to present Silicon Valley as a region in our world finals, but also will have an opportunity to meet some exciting VCs in private surrounding. Right, Alexander?
Absolutely. Sorry. Yes, usually our winners invited to our VC house meeting. The VCs can talk to the winner more closely. Usually we spend 1 hour for this meeting, and so to understand more about the startup. And of course, the winner always participate in the final, right?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. We are going to have a really great finals because you have been to all our unicorn battles all over the world and see that we have really some strong cases, some really exciting startup, exciting competitors. So it will be the battle of the battles, our finals. And I'm really looking forward to this and hope everyone will join us there. It's only 1 week to go, and a couple spots still left. If you want front row seats, just drop me a line and I get you there. And do we know who will be presenting Silicon Valley in our world finals? Because world finals is never world finals without the Silicon Valley, right? That's a really interesting question, but we will talk it during the network. Is still the Silicon Valley the center of the startup universe? That's really
so
interesting.
Anna, in your poll, you have not provided an option for us to say none of the above.
Other.
Okay.
There is an option
because
other.
Look at it this way, right? PitchBook says that the deal count is decreasing, but the deal sizes are increasing.
Yes. Well, still, okay. Yes, we'll talk about it during network. Yeah, and I appreciate, Sud, here that you're into the subject. I will be sure to ask you more about it. I'm sure you know all the insights. So please stay with us. Don't go anywhere. I'm really eager to know what you think about it. And I know, Maria, that you already know what I know.
Well, I may tell you that probably still this is one of the most intriguing and at the same time intriguing moment, which will later one of the most enthralling to the winner, who is today, as you mentioned, will be presenting directly in 1 week, presenting the Silicon Valley region at World Cup Uni Finals Winter Edition. So I think I'll keep just for a second who is the winner, and for this I'll ask also my colleague also to help me with who is
I'll help you out. The third place goes to Khal. Congratulations to all cooks all over the world.
Khal,
good work.
Samir, congrats, you're at the third number. You won the third place today. Can you hear us?
Yes, and the second place was intriguing GOIO, who was Hyperspec.
Hyperspec.
And he was pitch number 2, and he got the second place. Yes, he's Joe.
And the winner.
Yeah, congratulations. The number one, let me share the screen and you will see what I see. You can go to our event page now, it's all official. And it's Micronoma.
Micronoma, Sandrine, congrats, because today you're actually the winner. Sandrine, are you with us today?
Yes. Yeah, please contact Maria's event manager. She will tell you how you will join us next week for the World Finals. And that is really great. Congratulations. All startups did really good job. Really exciting pitches. And I'm really looking forward to our finals because it's getting more and more interesting.
Sandrine will actually join us probably in a few minutes because according to her message in chat, she will be back in 5 minutes approximately.
Okay, so let's go back to our poll. Can I have the poll results published? Let's see what insights do we have from the Silicon Valley. Okay. And the winner is location of a startup does not matter anymore, which I really like as an answer. And then goes, it's become more expensive to finance Bay Area startups. Okay, there is no need for a startup to be in the Silicon Valley anymore to be noticed. Okay, which that's really interesting, guys. So here, let's come back to what you just said. None of the above. So you have your personal opinion.
So what I was trying to point out to Anna was that, you know, although you might see the deal counts reducing, the deal sizes are increasing. Okay. And it is, you know, Silicon Valley is seeing a phenomenon which is going beyond conventional venture investments. Okay. You will see a lot of SPAC activity here that is happening. Okay. Because a lot of these companies, you know, which have been around, you know, are IPO ready and have found a route to do the IPO without having to go through the rigmarole of the investment banking procedures. Okay, so I believe you know, there are startups that we come across, you know, who, you know, it's one thing is very simple, right? I look at a startup in Houston and I look at a startup in Silicon Valley. Okay, the same startup, identical traction. Okay, great founders on both sides. The startup in Silicon Valley has more valuation than the startup in Houston, and that should tell you what Silicon Valley is all about. I'm not saying that everybody should stay here in Silicon Valley, but you know, people, I believe, who say that Silicon Valley is losing its charm, I don't think that's true, because, you know, just because Oracle or HP are planning to move out of Silicon Valley does not mean the Silicon Valley will go dead, right? The innovation is right here. The new startups are budding every day. The older startups have to move out, you know, because now they are on an optimization route rather than on an innovation route, right? So that's what I see. Tesla had to move out. People ask me, Tesla is a new company. Why did Tesla have to move out? Absolutely simple, right? Tesla was here because the innovation was here. The early adoption was here. Now that Tesla is in the rat race of electric vehicles, they have to find the land and labor, which is cheaper to compete in that market space. So they have to move out.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But the question is, do you have to be in a Silicon Valley nowadays to become a unicorn? Like, because in earlier days, it was obvious the easiest way to like interact with the right people in the right place. It's the Silicon Valley. You don't
have to be. You don't have to be, you know, because you see more unicorns coming out of China, India, and all these places, right? So you don't really have to be in the Silicon Valley, you know. But you know, if you want to innovate, okay, you know, this is a place which has an ecosystem, and I think the ecosystems are building all over. COVID has helped that largely, you know, because, you know, for example, you know, I deal with companies that are in Switzerland, Spain, Israel, and so on, right? You know, I have more companies on my platter that are outside of Silicon Valley than in Silicon Valley, right? And so that's the story. But you don't have to be here technically, you know, but it's great to be here.
Yeah, thank you. That's great that we have you who can tell us the views from Silicon Valley. And Jordan, what do you think? Can an online ecosystem exist? Because like what we are doing right now in Startup.Network, right? We are building like global online ecosystem, and I think we're doing good. What do you think?
I agree with Sadir, like Ernest Hemingway, the rumors of my demise are highly exaggerated. Silicon Valley demise is highly exaggerated. Now just speak to the Sadir spot on. It's innovation, it's creation, and then when it matures, you move out, you grow it somewhere else, and so forth. Yeah, I think the virtual is here to stay for a million reasons, and all in dollars. That's what's much cheaper, efficient, blah, 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 blah. There will be some hybrid, and until this pandemic settles down, this is the way to go. I'm guessing 18 to 24 months.
And then everything goes back, like Silicon Valley will still be the place, the most attraction for the startup.
Nothing will go back to ever again. It will never be the same. It will be substantially different. If anybody here thinks we're going to go back to anything else, knock, 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 wake up. It ain't happening. Move forward. I think the virtual, the online investments, we had a conversation with 4 other investors yesterday. Everybody's in the same direction. Online is the way to go. Small percentage of it may require a face-to-face interaction, some trips, some visitation, but until you start to raise millions and millions and millions and want to make 50 million, 60 million round, 20 million round, until that happens, virtual is the way to go. The key thing is, if you're not in Silicon Valley, it's good news. You have access. If you're not able to get that access because you're not connected in Silicon Valley, that's bad news. So get connected, build your infrastructure virtually, and then I think you will be as good as anyone else. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
So Jordan, I'm reminded of Yogi Bear, who says that, nobody goes to that restaurant these days because it is so very crowded. Okay. And that's what happens with Silicon Valley, right? Nobody goes to Silicon Valley these days, So it is because it is a good restaurant, people go there, right? And they prefer to stand and wait there. So I think that's the same for Silicon Valley.
Absolutely. Marisa, I would love to know, what did you pick in a poll? What do you think?
I picked about the expense because I'm hearing that from various investors that you can get the same company somewhere else and it can be cheaper. But just like everyone thinks that San Francisco is going downhill, there is only one San Francisco. There is only one Silicon Valley. And I was at a conference once where somebody compared Silicon Valley to the Galapagos Islands. That ecosystem can't exist anywhere else. So there will be a lot of wannabes and in other areas, but Silicon Valley will always be the top, just like London, Paris, and San Francisco are always going to, and Rome and Venice are always going to be the top cities in the world.
That's wonderful. What about your investment history in 2020? Did you invest more, or like compared to previous years?
I'm doing later stage now, and so my last startup was Airbnb, and so I'm looking at later stage because it takes people don't want to hear this, but it takes 8 to 15 years for something to exit. And so I'm looking at, and then unfortunately, what happens is the technology changes. So it may look really great when you start, but then the technology, we're going through a period of time like the Renaissance, where the technology is changing so rapidly that you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if you're planning out more than 3 or 4 years, it could be different. Like I'm in one company that was ready to have an IPO almost. And now there's another technology that I think may cause a problem for them. So because of the rapidity of the technology change, I'm looking for shorter timeframes.
But do you see many more women founders lately?
Yes, well, that's what we see. So they're getting out there, and we do in Golden Seeds. We do a lot of healthcare. And so for some reason in healthcare, you do see a lot of women founders. And then I personally am looking at crypto and blockchain. and companies related to that, because I think we are going to have, definitely going to have a digital currency, and there are some issues around the banking and the security and so on, that there are going to be a lot of companies that are going to do really well around that.
Yeah, the farmers and bankers are really thrilled about Bitcoin.
I know I am.
I had a call on Sunday with a guy who has $48 billion worth of Bitcoin. His name's Kerman Asarov from Dubai.
Does he remember his password for his wallet?
I wish. By the way, he told me he went into the bank. He's a really nice guy, by the way. We're working on some stuff. And he said, I went into the bank and there was a teller I really liked. And he said he physically walked in the bank and he gave her a Bitcoin. And she said she didn't want it. It was worth $40,000. Yeah. And he said she didn't want to take it because she was afraid it was drug money. So, I mean, it was amazing. But I also, having an hour-long conversation with him. And oh, by the way, next Thursday, for those that are interested, I'm actually interviewing the mayor of Miami. And Miami's a big hotspot. So I actually have him, the mayor of Miami Beach, on my show. And he's going to talk about the kind of incentives that Miami Beach is given for startups that are interested in relocating, which there are quite a few right now, as a tax advantages, et cetera. So if you get a chance, it's next Thursday. But, the one thing that I'm finding, I have 3 companies in Africa now, one in Rwanda, one in Cape Town, and another one in Nigeria. What I'm finding is the quality of opportunities globally is a lot different than it was even a year ago, because of things like Startup.Network, they've been curated and they understand what they need to do to be successful. So it's really, we have them in Indonesia, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Germany, right? And we're using Silicon Valley as a port. So it's changed a lot. It's, intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities aren't. And by using platforms like Startup.Network, it really helps you to get the word out.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much, and good luck on your interview. And Keith, I would love to know what you think about the Silicon Valley and how is it doing? Is it like experiencing some problems with the deal flows, number of the deal flows, and the startups changing the locations, VCs finding their other spots to live, or is it the same?
I mean, Silicon Valley is always going to be Silicon Valley, and nothing to take away from it. What I've seen over the years, having a company that one particular company that services tech companies all over the world, is that there's a lot more growth in tech hubs worldwide. And so you're seeing a lot of money becoming available, not just VC money, but also governments are making money available through grants, and money just in general is becoming a lot more available worldwide. And so you're starting to see, the fruits of a lot of that. And look, there was a unicorn in Miami that they just announced the other day. And I think you're going to see more of that worldwide. You're going to just see more companies that have matured and have come along. But generally speaking, the questions that you asked, it was kind of hard to just pick one. Because, look, it's aside from COVID, the development community is worldwide. I mean, we live in a tech is a global community, period. Even if you're domiciled in Silicon Valley, or you're in Finland, or you're in Sao Paulo, your developers are usually not there, they're elsewhere, and you have a diversified team and you're decentralized. And we see more and more of that, especially with COVID, obviously, you're seeing a lot more decentralization. But, look, again, when you talk about, like the banking centers of the world, they're still essentially the same over a long period of time. Silicon Valley, the resources are incredible there and the networking opportunities. But as people have moved online and have to make do with communicating virtually, it's leveling the playing field. But I still feel that companies out of Silicon Valley definitely are at an advantage. The analogy of the company in Houston and Silicon Valley, I'm not so sure that's a great analogy. The company would have a higher valuation. However, its cost of operating is substantially less in Houston, and everything being equal, the company in Houston may be actually at a better advantage. But the point taken is the valuation probably still would be higher because of the moniker of being in San Francisco.
Okay, that's really interesting. Yes, Sudhir.
No, I agree with you, Keith. That while the valuation is lower in Houston, the cost of operating there are lower. But what people are doing is they're trying to use very, very hybrid models right here. Okay, so about 1 or 2 founders are based in Silicon Valley because that's where all the action happens. That's where all the investments happen. That's where you can find the right partnerships and so on. And then have the rest of your team in Timbuktu. Okay, it does not matter, right? And that's how you can bring those costs down. I think that's the model in play right now. But having a physical presence over here, getting access to people is so easy in Silicon Valley, right? If you know the network, and there are places like Startup.Network. Okay, I'm here on this show talking to 40 people. Okay, 40 great investors. Okay, not just Silicon Valley, but from across the globe. Okay, so that's the kind of platforms that are available, and that's what makes Silicon Valley shine, and it will continue to make it shine, I think.
Thank you, Sudhir. And yes, Aldo, you wanted, and John, guys.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I am enjoying everything you're mentioning because I agree with both parts. I studied back in the 90s my master's in electrical engineering in Monterey, in California, close to Silicon Valley. And what I think is that the ecosystem, the environment that was developed is unique. But the truth is that the world changed. Also, innovation is not dependent on the place you are. So both opinion, I agree with both of them, but mostly with the change of the decentralized environment, virtualization, virtual teams, because a lot of resources are more concentrated in different parts of the world, and they are also very unique places. Software in India, development in China, Brazil, different regions. So there's a combination on both positions, but what I market is that innovation is not dependent on the place you are.
Which is great. John, what does Japan think?
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Thanks everybody for your insights. Because I love Silicon Valley. I stayed there about 6 years. Unfortunately, because of this situation, our family couldn't go back to Silicon Valley. The reason why, most important thing I wanted to be in Silicon Valley is actually to see the real products, because I'm in the medtech industry. We need to go to visit actually startups or laboratory and also hospitals. If real, we need to see the real products. So my actually immigrant investors or entrepreneur friends from Europe or Mid East or East Asia, they all went back to their home countries, including myself. So we don't need to be physically in Silicon Valley, but when we need to see the company growing, or if they are real people, real products, we need to be in the laboratory. So deep tech or med tech industries, I actually envy people already in Silicon Valley could actually visit hospitals, could actually ask real opinions from doctors or see the real patients. Those industries, we need to be in Silicon Valley. But if another industries, we can do the remote works. Wherever we are around the world, we can meet more often. And actually, I'm in more deals when I'm back in Japan and staying in the local area because it's safe. And when I was in Silicon Valley, always just focus on Silicon Valley things. But when I'm in Japan, I can talk to everywhere, from around the world. So actually more deals happening right now. And but I wish I could be in Silicon Valley right now because I'm into medtech. Yeah, but yeah. So keep in touch with everybody from around the world. Thank you, Anna, for this opportunity.
Thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for sharing their opinion. It makes me more and more wondering from what ecosystem will we have a winner at our World Cup, and we will know it in just a week, because on the February 18th we are gonna have the World Finals, where all our winners from Western Europe, Eastern Europe, Asia, Southeast Asia, Oceania, Africa, Middle East, Latin America, North America, and Silicon Valley will meet to finally discover what ecosystem breeds the best startups, right? Thank you, everyone, for this great event. I am looking forward to seeing you at our World Finals. Please mark a date in your calendar and be sure to make sure that you are there, because I am looking forward to seeing you all.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so much.
Maria.
I just wanted actually
Thank
to
you very much.
Sandrine has joined us. Sandrine, I don't know whether you've seen it in chat or not, but you're the winner actually today. So congrats to you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you very much. Well, thank you. Now I was enjoying the discussion about, you know, your view of the world. So I didn't arrive later than that. Well, thank you very much to the judges, and well, let's talk again on the 18th.
Yes, you'll be presenting again in the week, like the winner of our Unicorn Cup finals as the winner of Silicon Valley Battle. So congrats once again.
Thank you.
Okay, and see you all. Thank you for the great event. Congratulations to the winner again. And thank you all for coming. You're my favorites. See you all the finals. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. See you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.